So in the early 2010s, the AVGN was very popular. There was a lot of videos of his, very edgy humor, very professionally done. He did a lot of his own work. Um, you know, Very inspiring to a lot of people. And one of them would be the Irate Gamer. Now the Irate Gamer for a long time got a lot of crap. For a lot of obvious reason. He was a ripoff of BVGN. He more or less like took a lot of his ideas, and there was a lot of blatantly copy. Even if it wasn't a one-on-one, like people can tell you, like there was, he was an inferior copy of the EVGN. What's this like? I guess that is true. Looking back at it, believe it or not, I actually got into the EVGN because of the Irate Gamer. So it's pretty funny that I went from the Irate Gamer for then to the EVGN, and then I realized, oh, they're not, they're all separate people. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know the AVGN came first before the Irate Gamer. Now I'm not really here to talk about the AVGN. Um, it's really more about Chris Boris, the Irate Gamer, and how he went from a career shift. Now that's not uncommon. A lot of people throughout YouTube will from a career shift. You know, like Filthy Frank, JoJo. You know, Ethan from Contact Cop and all that kind of stuff. From iDub, basically what I'm trying to say. iDubbbz. Even AC Street had a bit of a career shift. They all had a career shift eventually at one point because YouTube landscape was changing. Chris Boris changed a lot. Now I didn't realize that because around the mid 2010s, when I went to college, I kind of stopped watching that kind of stuff for a while. Because for a little bit, the Irate Gamer didn't post any new videos. So for me, I'm like, all right, well, there was nothing to watch. And then there was AVGN, and I kind of got bored of that kind of stuff. Less due to my humor, and it was just more due to the life just changing around me. So I never got around to watching a lot of their stuff that he produced at that time. Plus, the AVGN didn't really make a lot of videos either at that time because he was making it more. But not the point, right? As I said, but it does imply that there was a lot of career shift or a lot of people taking a lot of big risks. Obviously, like Josie happened a lot later. iDubbbz happened a lot later. AC Street happened a lot later. Uh, I can even hell Jordan Peterson. We're going off of the list of people that had a career shift on YouTube. Whether they had a career prior YouTube or not, a different question. But nevertheless, their career shifted. And back to Chris Boris, he had an interest in like ghosts. The whole ghost hunters and all that kind of stuff. Now I never really got into that kind of stuff, but apparently he was really into it. Now I kind of knew he was because he would post stuff about that, and he tried to get on TV for the longest time and just never did. Right, he just never really did, and so it was just very funny to see that happen as time went on. And as I said, I kind of stopped paying attention to both him, and the EVGN just because of life. Well, it wasn't really until recently that he really took he took off with that ghost stuff really hard. Says he's really big on TikTok. Apparently, a lot of people don't know that he was the Irate Gamer. I didn't even know, didn't know that collaborated with the AVGN at one point, and that was really cool. Now, I haven't watched the video yet, so, we'll wait. I'll make a video on that when the time comes. But it was interesting to see that people knew Chris Board for the ghost stuff rather than what he originally did, and it's really interesting. And since now I brought that up, the main topic of today's little thing is about him covering the Christian or the Sonic Shoe medallion, the holiest symbol of the internet. And oh my god, I never thought in a million years that I would see, you know, there's a guy who was ripping off the ABGN make video. I think he's supposed to make a documentary on the whole Chris Chan medallion because everybody who has wear the Chris Chan medallion careers just went downhill. iDubbbz, Rakeda, I believe Annie Worski as well. I think Ethan Ralph, a bunch of people who were like big name YouTuber, especially the ones that were controversial at one point, they were wearing it, And I didn't know this for the longest time, right? And apparently it's cursed. Now, whether or not you believe in curse is a whole different talking point. But I kind of do it at this point because, like, every time somebody wears the medallion, their careers just go, the total shit. It happened, and the later kid was Rakeda. And Chris Boris did a response video to that. I gotta look it up and upload it, but he did a response video to the Rakeda stuff, and like even he admitted like there's something very wrong with the medallions, like it's possessed, and now he he actually ordered a medallion, and he's doing a documentary or video on it, and to me it's very uncanny because I would have never done in a million years that would ever happen. Now Chris Chan hasn't really been on the news that often. Chris Chan is more or less he's still low cal, but he's more or less just tame, right? For now, you never know. Was good old Chris Chan, the bear conductor, the man, the multi god being, right? We don't know what would happen next because given how Chris track record, it's funny both of their names are actually Chris. Oh God, life is hilarious. But we will see that. Um, and I would like to see Chris Chan respond to Chris Boris medallion thing, and that would be really cool to see it happen down the line because it's it's interesting, and I wouldn't really thought that in my whole life living that I would, again, I'm repeating myself like a dead, beating a dead horse, that I will see this. I hope that that whatever he's doing with it, it comes out good, and then like nothing bad happens to him, right? I think he did take a lot of shit. This is something I want to do, cover that as well. But he did get a lot of shit for a long period of time, and now we're witnessing this our epoch of our generation. I think this is. I think this is for the best. I guess I would say that good on him for doing something like this wacky, doing something that is like a cornerstone of the internet, right? We just something we wouldn't thought. Uh, you know, but I hope the curse isn't real because like it won't end well for him. This man will go crazy. Next thing you know, this man doing bath salt, and it's just game over. It's Chris over. It's Boar over. But it's an interesting thing to see, and hopefully when it does come out, I'll probably cover it and go from there. But until then, y'all, have a great day and God bless.